So today we're going to do a gentle yoga practice with a little bit of a theme or inspiration around a little bit of invigoration, a little bit of motivation. It just happens to be the middle of the day whenever we're doing this practice live together. So I like this to be a time to kind of pause and check in with the body, but also to make sure that we have a nice amount of energy to continue throughout the day. And as always, during this time period, I am currently pregnant. I'm about 30 weeks pregnant at this point. And so I'm just going to talk a little bit today about modifying and adapting for pregnancy using some of that language. And you're welcome to take whatever variation you like. If you want to feel what it feels like in a pregnant body, you're welcome to kind of imagine that or just do exactly what is best for you today. We'll also be doing a little bit of neck and shoulder work. So let's start actually laying down on the back just to give the neck and the shoulders a little bit of an opportunity to relax. So if you're not pregnant and you're comfortable with it, you can just lay flat on your back. Some people who are pregnant can lay on their back comfortably for quite a while. I can lay on my back still at 30 weeks pregnant, but I'm just going to show you if you wanted a little bit more support, you can stack up some cushions. I have a couple little cushions here that I'm just making a little ramp out of so that when you lay back, your head and your heart are just a little bit higher than your hips. And this will hopefully take off any uncomfortable pressure that a pregnant person might be feeling in their belly. You can have your knees bent or your feet stretched out long. Your hands can rest on your body or down by your sides. And take a few moments to settle in, especially if you're feeling that tension in your neck and shoulder area or anywhere else in your body. You might kind of tense those areas up a little bit more and then invite them to settle and relax a little bit more. Take a little time to wiggle, to move, to find just the right place for everything. And as you're ready, start to settle into stillness. Start to relax into your breath. Taking a few moments to check in with yourself. Acknowledge everything you've already been through today, everything that might come later today. But give yourself this moment, this time that you've already set aside. Give yourself this time to be present, to just focus on this breath. And as you're ready, start to invite breaths that are a little bit slower and a little bit deeper, going just to your comfort level, but maybe already starting to connect to your own motivations, your own things that you would like to energize or invigorate in your life. So maybe this is invigoration for your body or for your mind. Maybe just kind of connecting to a sense of inner strength. And then when you are ready, start to pair your movement and your breath. We're going to start just with the arms. So as you inhale, allow your arms to float up to any height. And as you exhale, allow your arms to lower back down. And continue like that. Inhale, lifting up to any height. Exhale, slowly coming back down. And you can kind of explore with this, trying different directions with your arms. Try the arms bent or straight. As long as you're opening and lifting with the inhale, softening or returning to neutral with the exhale. There's really a lot of really good ways that you can do this movement in a way that works for your body today. Take a few more breaths like this and make sure you're kind of following the path of least resistance for your shoulders. So don't press through any sticky places or uncomfortable places. Try to just find movement that feels good for the shoulders and the chest. Maybe one more breath like this. And then let the arms come down to rest. Take a couple slow breaths, letting the arms feel heavy, letting the shoulders relax. And then carefully bend one leg in towards your body. Hold on to the back of your thigh with one or both of your hands. And kind of relax down again through the shoulders, relax down again through the lower back. And then with your next inhale, extend out through this leg. So straighten your leg any amount, reaching up through your heel. And then as you exhale, bend your knee, bringing that knee back in close. So continue just like that. Inhale, lifting up, lengthening through your leg. Exhale, bending back down, gently drawing the knee in. And again, if you're pregnant or if you've got any discomfort in the abdomen, you can kind of take the knee more out to the side, or as you're bending, you just don't hug the knee in so much. You just let it stay kind of neutral. A couple more like this, reaching up through the foot as you inhale, lowering back down, maybe gently drawing in as you exhale. And the next time you extend up, leave the foot there. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep a little bit of energy through your legs. So reaching up through the foot, even if the knee is still bent. Relaxing down through both hips. Take one more full breath. And then carefully relax this foot all the way back down. Release your arms. Pause. Maybe take a little bit of movement or just let the body rest for a moment. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So when you're ready, drawing the other knee in, holding on in whatever way is comfortable for you. Relax through the back of the body. And then start to move with your breath. Inhale, extending. Exhale, bending. Moving at your pace, noticing what you feel through the whole leg, even into the back. Going just to a comfortable edge with that extension of the leg. And the next time you reach up, stay there. Let the leg fall kind of heavy in your hands. Keep breathing. Gently reaching up through the lifted foot. And when you're ready, gently release. Bring your foot back down. Take a little pause in stillness or take any kind of movement that might feel nice for your body. And when you are ready, carefully roll towards one side so that you can use your hands to help press you up. And take your time coming around to your hands and knees. If you like, you can have some blocks or a chair or something handy. We might use those in a little bit just for a little more support. So come to a nice tabletop position. Wrists about underneath shoulders, knees about underneath your hips. Or if you need a little bit more space for pregnant belly or for whatever reason, you can always come a little bit wider or a little bit longer in your foundation. So you might not be able to tell, but my knees are a little bit wider than my hips at this stage. So with your next inhale, please press down through your hands and your knees. And as you exhale, gently draw up through your navel, through your waist. So you're hugging your belly gently up. And do that for a couple more breaths. So just find a really good tabletop where you're pressing down and lengthening through your spine as you inhale, and then supporting through your core as you exhale. So just getting a nice breathing pattern down, feeling a nice base of support. Now let's take that deeper into the spine. So with your inhale, press through your hands, lift your tailbone, lift your head, cow pose. Exhale, round your back, hug the belly in, tuck the tail, tuck the chin, cat pose. And continue just like that, really strong. Inhaling as you reach and lengthen, exhaling as you draw in. So really using the connection to the mat, connection to the floor to energize through your whole body. So this is a whole body movement, following the pace of your breath, feeling energy and invigoration through both arms, both legs, and through the whole spine and core. Two more like this. And then when you're ready, come back to a neutral spine. Curl your toes under so you're coming onto the balls of your feet. Sink your hips back and then walk your hands a little wider, a little further forward. You might actually pause here, lower your elbows, give your wrists a little roll, stretch your hands out a little bit. We're going to practice a little downward facing dog here. So ground through your hands, reach your hips back. Make sure your elbows stay unlocked and your shoulder blades are drawing down on your back. So you're feeling activity through the upper back, feeling some lengthening through your spine, through your waist already here. And then when you're ready, lower your head, lift your hips, straighten your legs any amount, coming into downward facing dog. So remember here, as you get kind of settled in, you can always adjust your feet a little forward, a little back, a little wider, a little closer together. We want a nice long spine. So looking for a nice diagonal, excuse me, a nice diagonal all the way from your tailbone through the crown of your head. Take one more breath here, lengthening up as you inhale. Feeling a sense of stability and centering as you exhale. And then lower your knees, sink your hips back, take weight off your hands. You can lower your head down for a child's pose, or you can keep your head lifted. Again, maybe a little bit of a wrist roll, or gently squeezing through the wrists, rolling through the shoulders. So we're challenging the shoulders a little bit here. If you're feeling a little bit too much tightness and the downward dog is not working for you, you can try this on your elbows, which is actually a dolphin pose. So when you're ready, ground through your hands, lift your hips up, come into your downward facing dog. Or if you want to try it on the forearms, you just bring forearms kind of wide, lift the hips up. Might be a little harder on the shoulders, might be a little easier on the shoulders. So just experiment here, see what works for your body. Stay here for maybe something like 4 or 6 breaths. Each inhale helps you to lengthen. Each exhale helps you to feel grounded and centered. And then when you're ready for a break, lower your knees down. Find some movement in your tabletop or find a nice child's pose, hips back towards heels. Nice full breaths, letting the body rest and reset. And we'll do one more like this. Again, you can do downward facing dog. Again, you could do dolphin. If both of those are a little bit too intense and you'd like to try something a little less this time, come back up to your hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Keep your hips right over your knees and come onto your elbows. And you might just kind of lower your head down here between your elbows for a puppy pose. So kind of like a little baby dog. And I can tell you, for someone who is very pregnant with a lot of pressure on their low back and pelvis right now, this is one of my favorite things, especially if I'm feeling a little too tired for a downward dog. It really kind of helps to decompress and take some weight off. And that's one of our main goals with all of these poses, dolphin, downward dog, puppy, is to help with decompression of the spine. So stay in whatever pose is your favorite right now for a couple more breaths. And then from here, we're going to transition to a forward fold. So if you're in your downward dog, you can just walk your feet forward. If you're on your elbows, come back to your hands and knees. Walk your way forward. And you can use your blocks underneath your hands or a chair or whatever surface you've got handy. And walk your feet forward. And then fold over your legs any amount. So feet can come as wide as your hips or even wider. And if you're pregnant, you don't have to fold very far. So this is literally about as far as I can fold right now. I have my legs pretty wide. My belly is gently kind of squeezing between my legs, but I'm not nearly as close to my legs as I might be when I'm not pregnant. If you want, you can kind of shift your hips side to side, move through your shoulders, move through your head. Relax your jaw. Take one more slow breath here. It might even be a nice sigh. And then slide your hands up to your shins or your thighs. Come into a flat back or a half lift and stay here and breathe. Ground through your feet, really active legs. Reach out through the crown of your head, reach back through your tailbone, really active spine and core. Inhale here, feel the length and the strength. Exhale, round your spine, sliding your hands back down. Forward fold. Let's do that 3 more times a little faster. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift, lengthen, active through the whole back body and through the core. Exhale, soften and fold forward. Once more, inhale, actively lengthening, actively lifting. If you're pregnant, stay here as you exhale. If you're not, you can forward fold again. And then inhale, ground through your feet. Transition up through this flat back and then come up all the way to stand. Lift your arms up. You can keep your head lowered if you're lightheaded. And then with an exhale, return your hands back to your sides and take your time coming into a nice mountain pose. So feet about hip distance apart. At this stage in my pregnancy, my feet turn out a little bit. My feet are a little bit wider than my hips. So you can kind of walk in place a little bit to find good neutral alignment for your body. And then ground down through your feet. Relax down through your shoulders. Reach down through your fingertips. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Hips are about over your ankles. Shoulders are about over your hips. And just breathe here for a moment. With each inhale, feeling a sense of lift, lengthening, opening. With each exhale, again, that sense of grounding and centering. And we'll keep this feeling as we go through a few standing poses together. So we're going to start with a chair pose to feel kind of an equal balanced activation. And then we'll do a few different postures in a warrior position. So you can start with your hands down or at your hips. Take a nice inhale, stand tall. Exhale, sink your hips down and back like there's a chair just a little bit too far behind you. Going as deep into this as is comfortable and sustainable for your legs and hips and back. And this is just fine to stay here. Or if you want a little bit more, you might lift your hands up. Maybe the elbows are bent or maybe they're straight. So whatever feels good for your body. Sinking through the hips, lengthening through the spine. Equal activation and support through both legs. Equal activation and support through the core and the back. And of course, you're still breathing nice and full and slow. Good. With your next inhale, come up to stand, reach your arms up. Exhale, relax your arms down. Remember this nice equal activation feeling, and we're going to come into an asymmetrical pose. If you want your blocks, keep them here, just inside your front foot. So I'm going to keep my right foot forward, step my left foot back, and I have my blocks handy here if I want them. So back foot is grounding, both heels grounded, back toes can turn out a little bit. Turn the heart forward and try to make sure the hips are level with the floor. So that right hip or that front hip might need to come down a little bit. Back hip might need to shift forward a little bit. And we'll flow a couple different ways from this same foundation. So first we'll inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale to come forward. For this first one, just bring your hands to your front knee. And then option to take it deeper as we continue. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, if you like, you can start to straighten that front leg, find a bit of a stretch. Inhale every time you bend and reach up. And as you get warmed up, if you want to, on that exhale, you can actually bring the hands down to the blocks or to the floor, wherever your body is comfortable. So continue flowing like this with your breath. Finding your balance, finding your good pace. And finding the version of the movement that works best for you. Let's do 2 more like this. And then inhale, come up, bending the front knee, lifting the arms. And then exhale to turn towards your front leg. So I'm turning towards my right. Arms are reaching out to start. Good. And then bring the hands down to the waist or to kind of rest on the front leg. We're going to do a little bit of twisting more here. So you can stay upright or you can come a little bit further forward, maybe resting the opposite hand on the opposite knee, or you can bring it all the way down to the block if you've got the space there. For those who are pregnant, we're going to focus on twisting above the belly. So if your belly is smaller than mine, you can twist a little deeper than I can. So left hand grounded, right hand comes down by the leg. As you inhale, reach back any amount. As you exhale, come back to your starting position. And keep going just like that. Inhale, twisting open, reaching back. Exhale, coming back to the start. Grounding equally through both feet. Rotating mainly through the upper body here. Once more. And then when you're ready, carefully come back to center, step your feet together. Take a little pause, maybe kind of shift or circle the hips. Maybe do a little chair pose if that feels really balancing for you. And then we'll do the other side. I'm going to turn the face the other way so that I can face you once I do the turn. So, other foot forward, my left foot forward this time, right foot back. Finding that nice warrior stance. So equal distribution of weight between both legs, level hips, heart forward. With an inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands just come to the thigh to start. Finding your balance, inhale, reach up. And then as you're ready, maybe taking it deeper, maybe straightening through that front leg. Maybe as you warm up and get used to it, coming down a little further. A couple more like this. And then bend the knee, come up. Relax the hands. Start to turn a little bit towards that front leg. And then balance the opposite hand wherever it's comfortable. So on the knee, on the block, even on the floor if you're that comfortable today. And then your front hand comes down by your leg. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, come back down. And continue like that with your breath. Slowly opening. Keeping the legs nice and stable. Supporting with a gentle hug up in the belly for core support. One more like this. And then when you're ready, come back to center. Step your feet together. We'll make our way back down to the floor through our forward fold. So have your blocks handy if you want them. Starting your mountain pose, standing tall. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bend your knees slightly as you fold forward, rounding through the spine. Inhale, lift halfway, find that length, find that opening. Exhale, forward fold. Pause here and breathe. And then when you're ready, bring your hands all the way to the floor, bending your knees as much as you need to. So you can walk your feet back. Maybe pause in your downward facing dog if you really like that pose. And then lower your knees, sink your hips back, come into child's pose. And if it's comfortable for this one, keep your arms reaching forward, palms facing in towards each other, or even rotating so that your palms turn to face up towards the ceiling. Hopefully finding a nice opening through the shoulders there. When you're ready, slowly come up to sit. So sitting in a way that is comfortable for you. I'm going to choose to kneel with a block between my feet. We're going to do a little couple of stretches here. So first, leaning over to the side. So take a nice inhale, reach your arms up. As you exhale, lean over to the side, one hand coming down, other arm reaching up and over. And just take a few breaths here. If it feels better, this top arm can bend and your hand can rest behind your head. Relaxing through that bottom arm, opening through the side body. And then stay leaning over, but take this top hand, bring it around behind you so that you rest the back of your hand on your low back. Let your head tilt. Draw that top shoulder back. So you're opening through the front of the shoulder, side of the neck a little bit. And if you want to take it even further, turn your nose down towards your bottom shoulder. Couple more full breaths here. And then when you're ready, slowly come up to the middle. Take a little pause, maybe roll your shoulders, move your head a little bit, notice differences between sides. And then both of those going the other way. Inhale to stretch up. Exhale to reach over. Lengthening through the side body. Again, top elbow can bend and come behind the head if that's better. Bottom shoulder relaxing, so bend your bottom elbow if you need to. Breathing into the side of the body. And then keep this little side bend. Bring your top arm around your back so that your back of your hand rests on your lower back. And then maybe turn your head a little further so the nose points down a little more. Keep drawing that top shoulder back. Keep breathing. And when you're ready, use that bottom hand to help press you up. Slowly come back to neutral. Give the shoulders a little roll. And then take your time coming to lay back down on your back. Again, option to use the support as needed. You're taking your time, settling in here. Letting your shoulders and hips, arms and legs all relax, finding a neutral position. And take a few full body breaths. So imagine that your breath is not contained by your lungs or even contained by your body. Imagine you can breathe from the middle of your body out in all directions, expanding. And as you exhale, gently draw that energy back in towards your center. Inhale, filling up, expanding out. Exhaling, gently relaxing back in. And if this is feeling really good, you can continue like this as long as you like. Or when you're ready, you can let your breath kind of soften, coming to a more restful, relaxed pace. And allow yourself to rest in an invigorating way, which maybe sounds kind of counterintuitive. But see if you can connect to your inner motivation, your inner source of energy or invigoration or strength. And allow yourself to really rest into that, knowing that it is already present for you. And the more you calm yourself, the more you can kind of tune into that and connect with it. As you continue to rest here, begin to imagine a soft glow like the sunrise beginning at the soles of your feet. And imagine this soft glow like a patch of sunlight or like a sunrise, slowly traveling up your feet, your legs, slowly starting to cover your entire body. And wherever the light covers your body, you feel this gentle sense of energy, inner strength, inner vitality. And for a moment, just lay here, imagining soaking in the sunlight like a cat. And when you're ready, slowly, luxuriously start to bring a little movement back into your body. Start to stretch a little. Start to deepen your breath. And in your own time, in your own way, gradually make your way out of your rest position. And start to transition, start to conclude your practice. Of course, taking more time with that if you like. And whenever you are ready to conclude, make sure that you pause, maybe bringing your hands together in front of or on top of your heart. Taking a few moments to offer gratitude for your practice, offer gratitude for yourself. And I'd like to thank you all for choosing to practice with me today. The highest and best in me sees and honors the highest and best in you, and we are connected. Namaste.